In this video, I am going to show you how to make a contact information widget that you can display on your home page. So we're going to start by going to another classroom so I can show you how to work through this process to make it look like mine. So I'm just going to come into this other course shell here. I'm going to go to Teacher Support, Edit Course, and then I want to create a widget. From here, what I want to do is I want to create a widget. And you want to start off by giving it a name. So let's call it contact information. You don't need to put anything in the description. And so you're going to come over to the content tab here. Now, this is where you're going to put your contact information in. And the nice thing about this here is that it's an HTML editor. So anything you want sort of displayed on that contact widget can be added in this spot. So we're going to start off by inserting a table. And I find a table is really nice to be able to add that image of a Bitmoji as well as your contact information. Now, just keep in mind that Bitmojis, they're okay for staff to use in our board, but you do not want to ask your students to use it because it's not one of the green or yellow listed tools in our software catalog. Okay, so all I did was clicked on a table and then I highlighted two cells and then added that table in here. It looks kind of tiny, but you're basically just going to go in, click on the first cell, and then you're going to come up here to insert picture. And then we're going to go find my Bitmoji picture. So I saved that on my desktop. So I'm just going to come in here. I called it hi, because that's what my Bitmoji is saying. So I'm just going to select that, click OK, and then click Add. Now, here is kind of an interesting piece to talk about. It's a good idea to put in alternative text for your images, because if any of your students are using screen readers, this is what the screen reader is going to pick up. So I might just say, this is my Bitmoji says hi. Okay, just to give a description there. So if a screen reader was reading it, that's what the student would hear. So I'm going to click OK, and that puts my image in there. Now, if you don't like the size of that, you can click on the image and then just grab one of these corners and drag it a little bit smaller. And that's a nice, easy way for you to change the size of your text. In the next column, then, I'm going to put in my information. So I'm going to put in my name. I'm going to put in my email. And I'm going to put in my office hours. Okay. So then you can go and, if you want to pretty this up a little bit, maybe text the beginnings of your sentences here, but whatever you want to do to make that look pretty, you can do that there. Now, the nice thing about the table is it's going to hold that structure, but the outline of the table is not going to show up by default. Now, to get the rest of the text in there, if I just click outside the table and hit enter, then I can post the rest of my information in there. So say I want to say, please post your questions in our general discussion forum. And maybe I've created a general discussion post for my students to post in. Now, you can also link to that. And this is what's really nice about Brightspace is if you highlight that, come up to your quick links. So that's the link button there. You can link to pretty much anything in your Brightspace course shell. So if it was a discussion post, for example, I might click on discussions. And if I don't have one made, I can create one here. So maybe I want to call it general discussion, and then I could add my description here, like please post your questions here. Okay, and whatever kind of description you want to be able to put in there. So you're going to create an insert, and then you're done. So you're just going to save and close this. So that is how you create that custom widget. Now, if you want to get it onto your home page, I have shown this in a previous video, but we'll run through it quickly. If you come over to home pages, you basically want to come down, and if you haven't changed it, it's going to be set on default. So let's just make a quick copy of this. And then we're going to find our copy, and you're going to know where your copy is because it's going to be the only one highlighted in blue here. So we'll click on that. It's a good idea then to maybe give it a name. I like to maybe just use my own name. It really doesn't matter because this is just for you to find it later. And then I'm going to scroll down here, and I'm going to come in here and add my contact information widget. So I'm just clicking on add widget, custom widget, and there's my contact information one there. So let's add that. We can drag and drop it so it's up at the top, right front and center for our students to see. When we're happy with that, we're going to save and close. And then the last step is you need to make that homepage active. So you're just going to click on that drop down arrow, come down to what you named it. So I named mine Johnson. I'm going to click on that, click apply. And then when we go back to my homepage, you are going to see my contact information right front and center here. This is a really great way to add your personal information to your Brightspace homepage. And then that also frees up a little bit of space here on your nav bar because you could then go and get rid of this email my teacher icon. I hope you've enjoyed this tip today and this tutorial. Please feel free to leave me any comments or questions that you have down in the comments below. See you next time.